Welcome back to the Library Trends YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to learn how to make this beautiful high-low blouse. It has a little cowl effect by the side. It has shoulder pads on the shoulder area. I'm going to take you through how I cut and sew this in this class. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. So for this blouse, I'm using 4 yards of fabric and I folded it into 4. Okay, the length of the fabric is 60. So the first thing I measured is my neck width, which is 3 inches, and then I used 1 inch depth for the back and 3 inches depth for the front. So you are going to connect your neckline for both front and back. So once you have your neckline measurement, the next measurement I'm taking is my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder is 8, then I measured my sleeve length, and then once you stop your sleeve length, you are going to measure round your sleeve, and then there you're going to take your round sleeve measurement. Your round sleeve measurement is also going to be on the shoulder line upwards. I'm still going to explain this better with a small paper. So you measure your neckline first, then you measure your shoulder, then after measuring your shoulder, you measure your sleeve length, then you're going to measure your round sleeve, everything on your shoulder line. So once you measure that, that is all you need to do. You don't need any other shaping. So now I've cut my back neckline. I'm just going to open it at the center back so that it can open up and the person will be able to wear it easily. So once you take your back away, you're going to fold again, and now you can cut your 3 inches depth for the front neckline. So that is all you need to do there. So now we have done this, and I'm going to try to notch where my round sleeve opening is going to be. So I'm measuring my round sleeve. Once you measure where your round sleeve is, you divide it into 2, and that is what I'm measuring. So I want to place a notch there so that I will know that I need to stop sewing on that point. So once you do that, now you get your bias and then use it to pipe your neckline. You can either use facing, but I prefer to use bias. So I am going to be using bias to pipe my neckline. I'll also do the same thing for the back. I'll use bias to pipe the back as well. But for the back, it's going to have buttons. So I'm using this loop. Can you see? It's like an elastic loop. So that is what I'm going to put there so that I can use it for my button. Now I'm on the machine and I'm sewing my bias on the neckline to pipe it. You can see it's very simple. If you are using facing as well, it's the same thing. Just make sure you sew it on the neckline area so that your neckline will come out neat. So that is for the front. You can also sew your bias after joining. So for the back, I'm sewing my loop. Can you see? You sew your loop first, then after sewing your loop, you are going to pipe the back with your bias as well. The straight line that you cut at the back, you are going to sew your bias to it. Then after that, you sew the bias to the back neckline as well. So it's very simple. You just need to make sure that your neckline is neat, whether you are using a bias or you are using um facing. So this is the back neckline. I'm just making sure that I have my bias sewn to the back neckline as well. So once you have done sewing it, you have something really neat, just like this. Can you see? So now we are back to the table. The next thing I'm going to do is to sew the shoulder together. I've gone ahead to weave my shoulder. This is a chiffon fabric, so you need to weave. So you are going to start sewing and then stop where your sleeve opening is. So you can see, you take the front and back together, you are going to sew up to where you notch, which is your sleeve opening. So for the shoulder pad, I'm using a ready-made shoulder pad, and we are going to be putting it on the shoulder area. So these are my shoulder pads. You can see how I'm placing it. I'm placing it like ½ inch away from where my neck width measurement stop. So you measure, you fold it to 2 to get your midpoint, and you pin that midpoint to your shoulder. You do the same thing for the other end of it. You fold it to 2 to get your midpoint, and then you pin the midpoint. Can you see? So we are going to be using the same seam that we have used to sew the shoulder. That's the same seam that I'm going to sew on to attach the shoulder part. You can also sew it straight so that it does not shift if you want. Okay, if you are using a very good shoulder pad, you can sew it straight, but if yours is not good, the stitch can actually make it flat, so you can just use that shoulder stitch alone to hold it. So I'm doing the same thing for the second side as well. I'll put my shoulder pad inside, just half inch away from my neckline, and then I will go ahead and sew. So now I'm on the sewing machine and I am sewing my shoulder part to the shoulder. So you just sew exactly how I showed you, and that is all you need to do. So this is the sleeve area. When joining the shoulder, you stop sewing where you notch for your sleeve opening. So the sleeve opening, remember the sleeve opening is also on the shoulder line, so it's going to be like that. Then you join the side, that's where you stop sewing. So I have gone to sew it, you can see, and I stopped sewing where my sleeve opening stop. So the next thing is to close the side. So you're going to take it together and then you go ahead and sew your side close like that. Okay, so the fabric is quite big, so I'm going to explain what I did using this paper. The total yard of fabric that I used is 4 yards. So what I did was to fold my fabric into two, the entire 4 yards. I folded into two first, so you have 2 yards here, 2 yards here. Then I went ahead to fold again into four. Okay, so you're going to have 1 2 3 4. So once you fold, this is what you're going to have. So what you have here is going to be 36 inches, which is 1 yard. So you have 1 2 3 and 4, which is your 4 yards, and then the length is going to be the length of your fabric, which in this case is 60 inches. So once you fold that, the first thing I measured was my neck width. I used 3 inches by 1 inch for the front, for the back, and then 3 inches by 3 inch for the front, just like this. So this is my back neckline, this is my front neckline. After that, you're going to measure your shoulder. Okay, so from here to here I measured my shoulder. Then from your shoulder you measure your sleeve length as well, where you want your sleeve to be. Okay, so here, from here to here is our shoulder, from here to here is our sleeve length. So now your sleeve opening is not going to be on the side like your regular sleeve opening. If you want to do your kimono, remember it's going to be here. So for this style, your sleeve opening is also going to be up here. So what you need to do now is to measure round your sleeve. Whatever you have round your sleeve, you divide it into two and then you measure it here. So this part here is going to be your sleeve opening. I hope you understand it. This is the neck. Okay, from here to here is the shoulder, and then from here to here is your actual sleeve length. So once you get your sleeve length, if you want it to be on your elbow, that's what you're going to measure here. So once you have your sleeve length, the next thing that you're going to measure here is your round sleeve, which is around here. So you measure what you have around here, and that is what you are going to put here, which is going to be your sleeve opening. I hope we understand that. So once you have that, that is all you need to do. If you do that correctly, you grab your scissors and then you cut out your back neckline. You open the side. Remember, the side is still closed. You're going to open the side here. So after opening the side, you'll be able to cut out your, so if your sleeve opening stops here, that what that means is that whatever you have here, you are going to take it straight down and cut it off. Wherever it is that whatever you measured on your round sleeve opening stop, you don't need the remaining excess. You are going to trim that part off. Okay, so it depends on how big you want it to be, how long you want your shoulder to be. That will determine if you're going to exhaust your 36 inches here. So once you have that, I have cut out my back neckline. So you remove it now and then you go ahead and cut your front neckline as well. So this is what you're going to have. So once you cut it out, you turn with your bias. For the back, you are going to open the center back so that the person will be able to wear it. Remember, it's a small neckline. So now once you do that, you turn all of them with your bias, and after turning, you take them together like this, and then you go ahead and sew from your neckline all the way. You stop sewing where your sleeve opening is, then from here as well you sew all the way down. So once you are done doing that, you choose the side where you want to have your slant. So from my shoulder, for me, I measured 22 inches downwards, and then from the 22 inches like this, I just slanted it down to the 60 inches. That is everything we have done so far. So you cut together for your front and back. Remember, your sleeve is going to be coming from here, not the side. Everything is going to be coming from this shoulder area, so it's going to drop and then give you some form of cowl effect by the side. So after so close the side, you are going to form the shape. So you choose the side you want it to be, and then you're going to form your high-low effect. For the short one, I used 22 inches, and then I just slanted it to the hem of the other side, and then you're going to cut it out. So for this first one, I first used 28, but when I was done, it was not giving me the high low. The one that is supposed to be high is still looking low. So the final measurement that I later used was 22 inches. So I advise that you can start from maybe 28 too as well. So if you put it on and you don't like it, then you'll be able to reduce it. You can see that here we are trying to reshape it to what we want. So what I finally used on the highs, the one that is high, I used 22 inches, and then I just connected it to, you can see now that it is higher. I just connected it to my side, to the 60 inches side. So you're going to cut it. Once you have something you like, you weave the hem, and then you're going to just sew the hem all around. That is all you need to do. It's very simple. You just weave your hem and then you sew all around. So this is it on the mannequin. This is what 22 inches length gave me. So 22 inches is not that short, because remember, it's going to have a high, it's going to have like a cowl by the side, so that will make it drop even more. Or you can start trying from a longer length, and you put on the mannequin till you reach your desired length. So this is what it looks like. You can see how beautiful it is and how simple it is to make. Just always remember that your sleeve opening is also going to come from your shoulder area. Once you have your shoulder stopping there, you measure your sleeve length, and then the next measurement is going to be your sleeve opening. Everything is on the shoulder. I hope you enjoyed making this with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.